Hi and welcome back to my channel. On this channel we talk about unwanted emotions, unwanted thoughts and unwanted behavior and why it's there and how to get rid of it. So today I want to talk about the thing when something changes you. I don't know if you've ever had this one experience that you just feel changed you as a person. And it could be good, it could be bad. Sometimes we see that we can do much more than we thought was possible and we get a new viewpoint of ourselves. What actually happens is that some beliefs we had about ourselves can be destroyed when the opposite is proved to us. So for example, if you thought, I can't do that because this and that, and then you are in a situation where you actually do it and go through it and you succeed in it, bam, that can no longer be true because you just done it. Of course, then you can have the imposter syndrome, which will say, oh, I was just lucky, or I faked, or it was random and it shouldn't have been that way. That's also beliefs causing that way to feel. But another example could be that you have a bad experience. So an example of that could be, I think this is a very powerful example. I used to work with someone who told me one day that it was the 15th anniversary from the day her ex-husband cheated on her. And I was like, wow, she remembers that exactly 15 years. That's a long time. And she talked about it very passionately and she remembered all the details and she was still upset. And she ended saying, you know what? So since then, I just realized that I should just be on my own. And I've met, a couple of men since then, but I just don't trust them anymore and it's easier to be on my own. And I was very shook, and at the same time I could see what she was coming from. This experience clearly been so traumatic to her that she, it made her conclude a lot of things. So what actually happened was that it made her generate some new beliefs that she didn't have before. And those new beliefs are controlling her ever since, controlling her thoughts, that creates her feelings, that makes her behave in a certain way. So specifically for her, it's clearly something like men can't be trusted, relationships will always fail, men are cheaters, it's easier to be without them. All these things that she actually said out loud was the belief that was created from that circumstance, and then those thoughts created this frustration and anger that made her constantly remember it and live in the past, and made her not wanting to give any man a chance and just be by herself. Which ultimately made her, miss out on having the life partner she dreamed of. Because she also talked about how amazing she was, and she was like, wow, this is amazing. I can't believe that I'm so happy, when she was with him before the incident where she discovered that he was not faithful to her. So the point is that if you have any experience of something happening to you and then it changed you. Specifically, I think it's very interesting, and one of my big passions is to help people specifically with troubles in relationships, because there are so many beliefs behind it, and it's just an ultimate and amazing way to clean a lot of things up, and most of all, you get the ability and the opportunity to actually have the relationships you wish with, which is very crucial for life happiness. And not only romantic relationships, but of course the relationship to yourself and other people as well. So I've had different clients that have had this experience. It can also be somebody have been abusive to another person and then they lose trust in them, but people often turn it inward. So a lot of people who have been have some experience where they have been abused, they get beliefs like, I'm damaged goods, I'm ruined, now I'm messed up, things that makes them feel less worthy. And then after that, they might choose the same type of partner again, because now they're worth nothing and they are already damaged. So why would somebody who wasn't be with them, and so on. So these traumatic experiences are actually traumatic experiences because we make them mean something automatically and subconsciously. We make these traumatic events mean something about us, about our future, about our opportunities, about the world, about people, when in reality it was uncomfortable, of course, and it did have consequences, but it actually didn't mean anything. You couldn't know anything for sure about how everyone is based on how one person treated you. My colleague couldn't know anything about how every man would be and how every relationship will be just because this specific man was behaving that way. But when we have the experiences, it actually seems like we can see a proof of that in the world, and that's why our subconscious mind is generating the belief and is keeping it very safe. So even when we can see that's ridiculous, oh dang, I believe in that, and it's not true, and it's actually sabotaging my life and possibilities, it's still stuck because we think we saw it and we think we saw a proof. And that's the very fascinating part about it, that even when you become conscious of it, it can still be stuck. So the way I work is to remove those beliefs and make the brain realize that you never actually saw it, so that no matter what event you have had in the past, you can be free of it. And that, I think that's incredible, because a lot of people think, and I thought that myself, that if you had certain experience and if you had a bad childhood, or if you were unlucky in life, that will haunt you and that will define you forever. But it's not. It doesn't have to be that way at all, and it's actually not difficult and complicated to get it out of the way. It is just the mental programming that shapes us, and we can remove it again, and then actually remove the effects, negative effects something had on us, so it doesn't have to determine the way we are being for the rest of our lives. And I think that is beautiful. So that actually means that you can make your past irrelevant, which is great, because not all have had a great past, and that should not control us or ruin anything for us for the rest of our lives. So it basically opens up for the possibility for freedom, no matter who we are and what we have had of experiences. So on that note, if you have a certain experience, specifically you feel like you have had a past relationship that changed you, or you still are thinking about somebody, from your past relationship, like my colleague. It doesn't have to be someone who specifically cheated on you 15 years ago, but the whole thing about you still feeling mentally stuck or controlled by something that happened in the past in a relationship, or you behave differently in relationships, or you're struggling with it, you can now have a free session. I will offer a couple this summer, because I have some extra time, because I'm not teaching because of the holidays. And I will put a link to a form down below, so you can just go ahead and fill it out, and it's just some details about your situation, so I can know if I can help you, so it makes sense to give you this session. And it's free, and it's over Zoom, and I'm in CET time zone, and I work with people all over the world, so we can just figure it out even though you are in a different time zone than I am. So please fill out the form if you want a free session and this resonates with you. And if you're thinking about a specific person who really needs it, you can just let me know, and they can also totally have the chance to get the session. So thank you so much for watching. I hope I will see you soon. I love you. Bye.